is World Championship winners from the past years, from 2003, 4, 5, 6, so on, up until 2017. And I'm going to be doing deck profiles on them and talking about them. And then I'll do matchups with people on the team about, let's say we could do, 2003 Beatdown versus Goat format. We can do full-powered Insectors versus Dragon Rulers, or Infernity FTK versus the Frog FTK. But let's get into it. We got 2 Don Zalug. Don Zalug was good way back when because it's within this card inflicts battle damage. It's a 1400 beat stick, and you can discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand or send the top 2 from their deck to the graveyard. Fiber Jar, each player shuffles all cards from their hand and the field and graveyard back in the deck and then draw 5. So it's a basic reset button if you're about to lose. Gemini Elf was the beat stick of the deck because it was so hard for people to get over with 1900 monsters. Like now you have a bunch of monsters that have more than 1900 attack, which is easy to get over with the level 4. Jinzo, which stops your opponent from playing trap cards, which was pretty big. Kyoku, the Ghost Destroyer. If it inflicts battle damage, you get to target 2 monsters in your opponent's graveyard and banish them. Then we have... what do we got now? We got 3 Mystic Tomato, which is good because if it's destroyed, you can target 1 dark monster with 1500 less attack and special summon it, but it has to be in attack mode. We have 1 Witch of the Black Forest, which if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand, but it cannot activate effects. It can't be the same name as Witch. We got 1 Sangan. We got 1 Yagirasu, which locks your opponent out of their deck. Just that this card cannot be special summoned. This card returns. It basically returns at the end, and then this card inflicts battle damage. Your opponent must skip the next draw phase. And then we have Sinister Serpent, which during your standby phase you can add back. And then for spells, we've got 1 Change of Heart, which takes control. 1 Regeki, which is really, really powerful. Confiscation, pay 1,000. Look at your opponent's hand and have them discard 1. Harvey's Feather Duster, destroy all your opponent's spells and traps. Keyword is the opponent, so it's better than Heavy Storm. You also run Heavy Storm for spell and trap removal. Forceful Sentry, you look at your opponent's hand, target 1 card and they shuffle back in their deck. Delinquent Duo, you pay 1,000, your opponent discards a card, and then you randomly discard a card. Or I randomly discard 1, and then your opponent discards 1. My bad. 1 Dark Hole, destroys every monster in the field. Pottery Reed, free draw 2. Nobleman, target 1 card in the field, destroy it. And if you do banish it, then if it was a flip monster, each player must banish each copy from the deck. Grace for Charity, draw 3, discard 2. Monster Reborn, which is really, really powerful. That's why it got banned. 3 MSTs, back row hate, and it also got rid of your Mirage Nightmare because you could play Mirage Nightmare, draw 4, and then MST it, and you wouldn't have to discard on your turn. Snatch Steal, take control of a boss monster, so you trip it over, or just beat down on your opponent. We have 1 Premature Burial. It's another version of Monster Reborn, pay 800, and so on. Moving on to the traps, we have 1 Mirror Force, 3 Drop Off, which is interesting. Your opponent draws a card. For the normal draw, your opponent randomly discards the card. So basically, the whole point of this deck is to have your opponent discard their cards, and then you have Yagirasu and a bunch of monsters, and just have Yagirasu just pick at your opponent's life points, and they can't draw because you have to skip the draw phase, which is pretty nice. 1 Ring of Destruction. Ring of Destruction is powerful because if your opponent has their Jinzo on the field, you can destroy it. Well, it's not actually can't. You'd have to do 1 of your opponent's boss monsters, and it's destroyed. Like you could do your opponent's Gemini Elf, and you both take 19, but it's destroyed. Imperial Order stopped all spells, and back in the day, it was your opponent. You take 700 on your opponent's turn, or it was either your opponent's turn or your turn, but you don't. It wasn't both. And then Call of the Haunted brings back any monster, but it has to be an attack mode. They don't play an extra deck. Moving on to the monsters. For monsters, we have one Air Knight Parsnif, which is really good because it deals piercing damage, and if this inflicts battle damage, you get to draw a card, which is nice. Another Kyoku for decks that rely on monsters in graveyard. We have Exiled Force that can destroy any monster by tributing itself. We have one Mystical Hat. When this deals battle damage, opponent discards a card, which is Yagurasu Turbo, basically. Then we have Electric Sea Snake. When this card is discarded from your hand to the graveyard, but by effect of a card controlled by your opponent, draw 2 cards from your deck. It's good for like a mirror match, or if your opponent plays any discard cards, because if Sea Snake is discarded, I just get to draw 2 cards for free. Then we have one Painful Choice, which is you select 5 cards, your opponent chooses 1. The 1 is added to hand, the rest is sent to graveyard. Then we have 3 Book of Moon, which is now still 1 in the TCG. Right now in 2018, Ring of Destruction was just brought back to 2. We have 1 Scapegoat, which helps for like during the battle phase when you're about to lose, you can just go flip Scapegoat and get 4 tokens, and then if you want to stab your opponent, you can play 3 Torrential Tribute, which it doesn't stop the summon, but when it's summoned, it destroys everything. This finishes this 2003 World Champion beatdown deck. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and get your game on YouTube. Peace.